Howdy doody everybody. I'm sorry, I know I made it sound like this video is going to come out way sooner than months later, to say the least. But I definitely wanted to give everyone an update in terms of what I've been up to lately and what's coming up pretty soon, actually, around the bend. Alright, so I guess we can start off with what I've been up to lately. I didn't really do much of a 2018 review kind of post that people were doing, but you guys have seen my posts. A lot of what I was doing was in the, I guess you could say the later half of 2018, was a lot of tournament stuff as usual. More so on the planning end though. I did go to a few locals. Not only was the Chowchilla series rebranded into the series called Stage of History, so the homie Brian's been holding those, but also Button Check, well, it used to be a monthly at UC Merced. Now it seems like it's on a quarterly basis, but that series has come back also, so I had a lot of fun going to those tournaments. Aside from those tourneys, I've entered brackets here and there, either at my own tourneys or other smaller locals around here in Fresno. Of course, I always want to definitely enter more PM and Under Night tournaments, but at some parts of the year, I would just be busy in one way or another, and I would sometimes miss tourneys with PM and Under Night in the lineup. It's funny, because as much as I rag on Dragon Ball, if anyone's seen like results posts of Senkou tourneys around here, I entered quite a bit of Dragon Ball tourneys. It's kind of like what was happening with Melee a while back. I don't even practice Melee, and I don't even really like to play it as much, but I would just end up entering Melee tourneys because it's there. And Dragon Ball, it's kind of been the same way. I mean, Dragon Ball's fun. Don't get me wrong, it's fun.
Oh!
Let's go, Krillin.
Wait, what happened there?
It's fun. It's kind of like I've haphazardly invested a decent amount of time into it. Do I want to get good at Dragon Ball? Not really. But I'll probably keep entering the smaller tourneys in Dragon Ball around here. Mainly because it can be fun sometimes, and to an extent, hopefully I do keep some of the local players on their toes, help them improve and whatnot. I had also, over the past few months, been one of the main TOs for a few big events here in Fresno. There was marquee matchups back in September, and there were a couple of River Park events. There was the Rundown, and then Smash Miracle, just this past month. As you probably saw from the videos of my channel, I was also in charge of streaming for some of those too. Club One Casino, as always, an amazing venue for the bigger stuff that we do in Fresno. But now River Park also, I really appreciate their support in helping us host bigger events. So it just adds to all the great stuff that we can do in Senkou here. But I had also been doing a lot of planning in terms of like the future ideas I've had, and in general kind of doing a bit of restructuring of not only my own events, but how I recommend things go for the other events in Fresno. I did a whole bit of discussion with the guys at Knockout Esports Arena, and also some of my other friends that are running tournaments. And so my overall goal for Senkou in general had been to make sure that not only do all of our events, because there are various TOs all around Senkou, but I wanted to make sure that all of our events work together in a way that they're properly scheduled, so that there isn't oversaturation, like there aren't too many events for the same kind of games and the same kind of lineups, and like there's adequate space in between them, so that way people can either A, try to go to each other's locals and support each other, or for a lot of the people that can't travel, they at least have options. And so with my future stuff, you'll probably notice the tendency with my events, at least, it'll be in the earlier typically in the earlier parts of each month, just to have much less conflict with the other monthlies that will be going on. Like I said, Stage of History, Button Check. I know Luke started his Wheel of Fate series also. And so I want to make sure SenCal can try to support each other's locals as much as possible. Now, while I said a lot of the tournament stuff was in the later part of 2018, what I had also been quite preoccupied with was much more single-player stuff, single-player games. As you all probably know by now, I am a big Sonic fan. I have yet to edit the Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces streams. I'll get around to that eventually. But aside from those games, I hadn't really played any single-player stuff. But when Spider-Man came out, not only did I jump on that train, a friend of mine also let me borrow Nier Automata a month or so ago. Both of these games basically took over my life. Spider-Man and Nier Automata are two really, really good games. Both had really engaging stories that I just couldn't stop playing, to be honest. I wasn't practicing any fighting games. I really didn't feel like doing anything else to beat these games. Including the Spider-Man DLC, actually. Well, what was that last one called? Whatever the third DLC was called, it didn't feel as good as the rest of the game, but overall, Spider-Man, amazing story, absolutely loved it. Nier Automata, oh man. They're really good games. Both of them are really good games. I finished them, for the most part. I'm not the kind of guy that tries to 100% games anymore, really. I beat the main stories, I got the endings that matter, but yeah, since there aren't really any other single-player games that I have that are immediately demanding my attention, I'll be back on trying to practice fighting games as usual whenever I can. Now, in terms of art stuff, to be honest, I didn't fully stay dedicated to the daily doodles and art practice that I was initially planning to. I did do some fan art every now and then, but I didn't really post anything because some of it was stuff that I didn't finish, and some of it was art that I wanted to do digitally. I sketched some things and I wanted to finish it digitally later on, which I'll get around to that eventually. At this point, any fan art I do, it may fall in the same category as the stream highlights, where I guess it'll be a bit more of a natural process. I'll finish it whenever I'm working on it, or I have the time, if anything. I guess the main highlight of the few art things that I did do would be the overhaul I did, essentially, of my social media stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen, but I redid my banner, which was good practice in itself. It had been quite a while since I had drawn fan art of any characters that I like, and so this alone was already a nice attempt at drawing my mains in PM and Under Night. And so I hadn't got around to opening myself up for commissions yet, because I hadn't really gotten into a consistent schedule yet of sitting down and dedicating time to art. I do have a structure, in terms of pricing and also scheduling, that I would want to try. Like I said in the last update video, I'll make that big announcement when I do open myself up for commissions, officially, anyway. I think that should pretty much sum up what I've been up to. Now I guess we can go ahead and go to what to expect throughout the rest of this year, now in 2019. Like I had mentioned, I'd been a part of some discussion on restructuring the main tournament series, as well as the frequency of what goes on around here in Fresno, also while being aware of what's going to be consistently happening more in the rest of SenCal. And so if you're looking out for tournaments in SenCal to go to, my stuff, which will mainly boil down to Blue Shell Battles, my Smash Focus series, where I usually have mostly anime side games, but I'm starting to rotate them sometimes. Blue Shell Battles will typically be the second Saturday of the month. That's when I'm going to try and have it on. And once some things get taken care of, I'm actually going to be consistently having the Virtual Fighters series again. It had to go on a bit of a hiatus, but Virtual Fighters series will be happening again. I'm going to try and keep it around the first Saturday of the month, usually. Now, as for my Knockout Shenanigans series, that one, if you see my post, it has moved to a mostly permanent lineup, and I'm going to try and keep that in the later half of the month, like either the third or fourth Thursday of the month. And so that gives you a bit of an idea of the structure of the frequency of my tourneys, based on what other tournament series I know are going on, as well as the future plans of Knockout Esports Arena. This will best, like I said, prevent oversaturation and complement the other tournament series that are going on. Aside from my stuff, there's a good variety of other up-and-coming, as well as established local series that are going to be consistently happening from now on. And so I'll put a link in the description for the Sencal FGC calendar. Really good Twitter account. Shoutouts to Joel for making it in the first place. It's one of the central places that anyone can look for just knowing what events are going on. Also make sure to put links in the description for all the prominent FGC groups in Sencal. A lot of event advertisement, practice, hangouts, all that sort of stuff is usually announced in groups like this, so definitely be sure to join those if you're looking for people to play with, or if you just want to be aware as much as possible of the events going on around here. Now, aside from the local tournament series, I wanted to make some announcements actually for the bigger tourneys to look out for. As I hope everyone knows by now, Fresno's biggest annual tourney, Sencal Standoff. It is coming up February 23rd and 24th. The main lineup is Street Fighter V, Dragon Ball Fighters, Smash Ultimate, and Tekken 7. It's still a 2-day event, again. Day 1 will be Street Fighter and Dragon Ball, Day 2, Smash Ultimate and Tekken. This year we're also introducing a BYOC room, though. And so if you want to be able to just chill, or even maybe run a side tournament, just be sure to register for Sencal Standoff, and if you have any interest of running a side bracket, be sure to inform the Sencal Standoff staff. Let them know that you want to run something. This year's going to be massively bigger than last year. We have a great lineup, great pro players already confirmed, great commentators in the lineup too. And so be sure to follow the Sencal Standoff Facebook page, and Twitter for all the announcements coming up. And make sure you pre-reg. Now, it's the meme with me and Sencal, but definitely pre-reg. Not only does it give the TOs like myself better confirmation of numbers, but the pot bonus solely depends on pre-reg numbers. So definitely be sure to plan ahead, get your hotels and carpools ready if you need to, reach out to all your friends, make sure they're registered, and come on through to Sencal. It's going to be a super great tournament. I'm the head TO for Dragon Ball this year, so I'm going to be making sure things go as smoothly as possible. And so with my monthlies planned ahead and Sencal Standoff just around the bend, I've also been busy planning ahead for my early birthday event, Casinopolis. You get the reference. Club 1 Casino and Quincy with Origin Esports, they were gracious enough to let me try and hold a big tournament there. It'll be 2 days before my birthday, and I just wanted to have a big event with 2 of my favorite games and 2 honorable mentions, I guess you could say, and just had the community out for a good old time. We got a sick lineup, but also a sick agenda for exhibition matches. You have a 559 versus 209 crew battle in Dragon Ball, and a whole list of planned exhibition money match shenanigans. So it's just going to be a really good time. So I'll put the event page in the description, so go ahead and check it out for more details. And if you can come, definitely come. Be cool. So that should sum up everything you can expect tournament-wise throughout the beginning of this year, at least. I haven't really streamed quite a while. In fact, sorry for the lack of content on this channel. I actually had stopped streaming even tournament stuff for a little while. My laptop was giving me issues. But at the least for my own personal content, I did enjoy streaming my Undernight practice alongside me drawing. As long as my laptop cooperates, I definitely want to do that more. Getting practice lobbies going with friends whenever I can. But also, if I have the time, I was going to just be playing a variety of different games. Trying to delve back into stuff like Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, maybe even Tekken and Soul Calibur. Just trying to play all the relevant games in Senkou to get them a bit more attention, but also become competent enough in these games to where I can help people practice. Some of the games in Senkou, the attendance isn't always as consistent, but I'm always down to play whatever games people want to play. So if I were to sum it up, basically be on the lookout for all the upcoming Senkou locals. Definitely make sure you pre-reg to Senkou Standoff. Come out to my birthday tourney if you can. And in terms of my own personal projects, I'll be continuing the stream highlight editing as well as general art stuff as I go along. Sorry that I'm not much of a consistent content creator, but hopefully I'll have more to show for it in the future. But I definitely want to give a huge thanks to all of you that come out to my tournaments, that support my events. Like I mentioned in the last video, I just like making events possible, and as long as I make them happen and they run decently smoothly, I'm definitely content. I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Blue Shell Gaming Collectibles. Rick and the guys there, they've been a great sponsor, helping me and the rest of the BSG team as we compete, supporting us as we keep attending locals, trying to get better, and working towards going to bigger events. So if you haven't, be sure to follow their social media as well. Check out their store. They got a bunch of games and stuff. It's pretty cool. And lastly, I just want to thank you for sitting through my ramblings in this video. Hopefully this gives you a good summary of what I've been up to and what I will be up to. So thanks for watching, thanks for following, thanks for subscribing, all that good stuff. See you guys next time.
Third floor, divide, counter, divide slap,
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like me, be sure to subscribe. If you want more to see, click to the right of the chibi. Tourney footage, stream highlights, maybe eventually some guides or art stuff. You can also check out my social media, as well as links to anything else I may have mentioned in the description. But that's all for now. Laters.